We never introduced this thing. We should do a quick introduction. Do you want to do the, hi, this is the chat episode, whatever?
Hi, this is the chat episode. I lost track a while ago.
15.
In this episode, we're going to spend 30 minutes talking about Brenda's cats.
Yeah. And I'm Nolan. If there are any cats in here. Are there any cats in here?
I don't think so. I think you scared them off with your vacuuming.
Did I? Okay, good. That's the whole point. I can never tell because they really do just hide in little nooks and crannies. There's been at least twice where I've opened the closet and Missy or Beemo will just run out, and I've had that closet shut all day. I've been out running errands for 3 hours, so they've just been chilling in there.
I try not to let them in the closet.
Brenda,
it's too much power.
Brenda, you're not much of a collector necessarily, and I figured out why. Because you collect cats.
And plants.
You collect cats and plants. I like the plants. I like the cats too, but we have a lot of cats, Brenda.
I didn't collect the cats.
They just were acquired over time.
Them, okay.
We were given cats over time.
Yeah.
How many cats do we have, Brenda?
6.
Yeah. Who are they?
I guess we'll just go. Date of acquiry. If you ask any cat person, they love talking about their cats, okay? So I'm going to talk about my cats for 30 minutes, and that's going to be a whole podcast, okay? Are you ready?
Yeah, the date you won them at auction. This is called... this episode of Bluey is called Cats.
The first cat and the oldest cat is Missy, and I got her when I was 10 years old from the animal shelter. And so she's what? She's 13 now? Little old lady. When I went to college, she moved in with my mom, and then my mom kind of stole her from me, and then when my mom died, she came back to live with us. So there's Missy, and then there's...
I love Missy.
I know, Missy's a good little kitty. She's a mean old lady, but she's very sweet.
She'll bite your face off.
She's just particular. She's just, you gotta pet her in exactly the right way, or else...
She's grumpy.
Get fucked.
Yeah.
Can I say that on a podcast?
You can within the first... you can't within the first 30 seconds, so I think we're okay.
Okay.
You can't say though. That gets censored.
Oh, okay.
That's the one you can't say. You can say it,
but
I just...
you have to censor it, or does YouTube censor it for you?
So YouTube considers it a derogatory term.
Well, yeah.
So they'll demonetize your video. Won't even recommend it to people, really.
Nice. Which
is why I have to censor it. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, yeah. The next cat was Stuart and Kat. We got them at the same time. I got it from a high school friend when I was a senior, so that was 2017. We brought Stuart home, and my mom was kind of she had seemed kind of upset at first, but then after one night of having Stuart, she was like, you should ask your friend if they have any more cats.
I didn't know that it was from a friend. I thought you just got them from the shelter. I thought you got them both at the exact same time. Okay, anyway.
So my friend Dylan was friends with this guy named Jake, who was super popular, quarterback guy, whatever, and it was Jake Carr. Yeah, we used to joke about it all the time. We'd be like, Jake Carr. We freak out. God. So anyway, Jake's cat had kittens, and so I learned from Dylan and Jake, and then we got one, and then my mom asked if they had another one. So literally the next day we brought home Kat, and they were brothers, and they're so cute.
Cat was cute. He's a little black fuzzy thing who liked to sit in boxes.
Yeah, he got hit by a car a couple years ago, so that was no fun.
Yeah, that sucked.
So then Stuart...
And then Stuart danced on his grave, I believe.
I don't think so.
No.
Stuart then was, again, when I went to college, stayed with my mom. And then when I moved back into the same town as her, I think it was when I moved in with you, Stuart was being really mean to Kat and Missy and was beating them up, and so he got exiled and came to live with us, and I think that was the happiest year of his life. He
was on his own, and he was our only cat.
He thrived.
He did
He
great.
had the doggos. He did good with our little puppies.
Yeah. Did we get the dogs before we got the other cats? We did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had Stuart, and then we got JR and Oscar.
And then we got JR and Oscar.
Which are 2 little Schnauzer poodles. Oscar was like a Korean War veteran. He shook all the time, and if you touched his butt...
20 years old.
Yeah, dude, he was like, no, he was legitimately like 16 or 17 when he died. If you touched his butt, he turned into a frog. Like, he'd like hop around and like skip. It was adorable.
So cute.
He was like he did look like a little like old racist man though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He went through a lot.
Fucked his daughter.
A couple times.
Once or twice had puppies. That's what JR came from. He was his son.
A little incest baby.
What do you even call that? What would that, like, son? He's just like his son's son. He's like both
sister,
his
brother.
son and his grandson at the same time, right?
I guess so, yeah.
That's fucked up.
Someone should make a chart, an educational chart about how incest works.
I was gonna say, I don't think family trees are supposed to like loop back in on themselves. And they like connecting, like it like goes back up a branch and then like goes back down again.
They're playing Connect 4 with the family tree.
Jesus Christ! This sounds like my family tree.
Oh god. Aren't you white?
Yeah, that's why my family tree looks like a goddamn spirograph.
Anyways, so there was Stuart, and then, like you said, we got the dogs, and then we got Douglas, which was your choice.
I like Dougie.
It was your pride and joy. You got him as a little baby kitten from your coworker. He was so little, so cute.
He's like an albino Grinch. I love him.
And when he came home, he really just wanted to be Stuart's friend, and Stuart just hated him. Just beat the shit out of him. Yeah. Never had a friend. So then, like a year later, I think, Douglas was like a year or so, maybe a little less. My sister found a cat in the dumpster behind her work, and his name, we brought him home. And my brother named him, actually, because we were going to give him to my brother because he was getting divorced and had to leave his dog with his ex-wife. So we tried to, like, pawn it off on him and was like, here's a kitten. Well, don't you love him? So he named him Valley, which is, like, Nordic for, like, Avenger or something. It's like
some, like, son of Thor or something.
Yeah, some cool term like that.
Which, how's that working out for him?
I think
There's some kind of vengeance happening on the poor little guy.
Probably. So then him and Douglas, though, they got along perfect. They were so cute. They'd play, they'd wrestle, they'd snuggle, such little good brothers. And then Valley may or may not have fallen in love with me, and so now he's my cat and not my brother's cat.
He fell in love with you and your suckle blanket, as we now call it.
Yeah, I have a blanket, a favorite blanket that I sleep with every night, and hence Valley learned to love it. I think it's because he was a kitten. He got abandoned, and so he would nurse.
It's really cute.
On the blanket.
Yeah, it's really cute. He like nurses on it.
He still does it, and he's like 2 years old.
Yeah, he's like 15 in like cat years now. He's like the weird homeschool child that still breastfeeds. But he like I mean, I love the little dude, but he drools so much. He drools way more.
Does Missy.
He drools a lot. Like when he suckles on that thing, he'll like knead it, and then he'll just like sit there and like dig his face into it, peel him off of it like a leech, and he's like, and he's like drooling, and his eyes are all squinting.
He makes love to the blanket, okay?
It's really gross.
It's sensual.
It's adorable. Sensual is the best way to put it. Yeah, so that's
sensual.
And that's the same suckle blanket you're wearing right now, yeah. It only smells like cat spit a little bit.
We wash it.
I can't imagine why James can't be in our house for too long. Poor James, he just found out he's hyper allergic to cats. Like if he has to come over here and pop 3 Benadryls, and then by the time so he's all woozy from the Benadryls, and then by the time he leaves, he says he feels drunk because the allergies of the cat still affect him.
Oh no. Poor guy.
Which is why we do D&D remote, I think.
Maybe.
But anyways, yeah, that's Valley. He's adorable.
That's Valley. So yeah, that was when we lived in our other house. Mm-hmm. We were a nice little family of 7.
Yeah, at the 7?
Time.
Yeah.
Well, there was the 5 animals.
There was 5 animals,
because we still had Stuart, Oscar, JR.
Yeah.
Valley, Douglas, and Kevin.
That is 7, yeah. Well, no.
Kevin was still around.
We got 7. Yeah. Kevin was awesome.
Kevin was 8.
Hey, shout out to Kevin.
Shout out to Kevin, R.I.P.
Yeah, she's up there with Tupac and Biggie right now. Showing her how to spit bars, no doubt.
No doubt.
Anyways.
Yeah, and then my mom died. Add sound effects.
Rip. That sucks.
So then we had to get a bigger house, and all of my younger siblings moved in with me. And so that's when we got Missy back. And then my 2 brothers had a cat named Little Bit, who we had gotten him from my sister because she used to work at a vet at the time and was like fostering cats. And Little Bit had to have his leg cut off right after he was born because it didn't grow right. And so he used to be so cute and he was so sweet. And then somewhere along the line, he turned into an absolute monster, and he's an asshole. He's gotten better.
Abuse got to him, I think.
Yeah. He bit my foot one time and punctured it in 4 different spots, and it was infected.
You got gangrene from the cat.
Yeah, and he did that to 4 other people.
I feel like nobody understood why I didn't like Little Bit until you got bit and everyone was like, oh, I see. Because he doesn't do it much anymore, but he used to be feral.
Yeah.
I'm saying this to the people more than to you, but yeah, he used to be feral. You know it, I know it. He bit my leg one time, and he bit my arm. My God.
He has the meanest little meow too. It just sounds angry. I'm scared of that cat, honestly.
When he goes after me, I just grab him by the scruff. I'm like,
yeah.
And I just hold him. I'm like, no.
Little 3-legged bastard.
You give him. See, what's nice though is that it's only got 2 handles in the back, so you just swing him around like Bowser and yuck him like a garden gnome. You know what I'm saying?
He's only allowed in the boys' room and outside.
Because he pees on everything. He's a little territorial dude. He doesn't pee in their room.
Better. He's gotten better. I was sitting outside in a camp chair the other day, and he crawled into my lap, and I was honestly kind of terrified. But he hung out for a minute. He needed.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went on his way, and I was like, all right. I was like, I guess we're making progress. We're chilling a little bit.
Yeah, he's like the demon, centipede spirit from Avatar. You just can't show emotion, and then he's cool. As long as you don't show fear or happiness, you could just hang out. Well,
they play wrestle. Yeah. I mean, they don't snuggle or nothing. But speaking of which, plot point, a couple months after we moved into the new house with everybody, Valley had to get his leg amputated as well because a brick fell on it because he jumped over the fence weird.
Oh, bud.
It was so sad. So yeah, now there's 2 3-legged cats.
We're hoping for 3.
Yeah, my younger brother suggested that we should start making them.
Mm-hmm. It's like a service. You could have a little...
yeah.
Little...
Both of them are... It's a back leg missing. They both do great. They recovered awesome. Mm-hmm. Cats are resilient. But yeah, now we got 3 little... Two little tripods.
Yeah, two little
tripods.
Yeah, we call them tripods.
We call Valley's nickname with my coworkers is Nub Nub.
Nub Nub. Yeah. Which your coworker Brian just adores him. Brian comes over and he picks up Valley, and Valley just hangs out with him. I think Brian might be Valley's actual mother.
Brian claims parental rights for some reason, even though he doesn't have any parental rights.
I don't see his name on the paperwork. We made that thing, okay? Not him.
Valley has gone through some shit in his life.
Yeah.
He got trapped in a tree. I'll have Nolan link my TikTok, and you guys can watch the TikTok video that I made of Valley getting stuck in the tree. Literally, he was the size of both of my fists, just a little baby, this big. I know you can't see.
It's
and he climbed up into the tree,
little nugget,
in the old house, and he had 4 legs at the time, so I think that helped. But I had to climb onto the roof, and then climb the tree, straddling the tree trunk that's hanging over the house, probably another 15 feet up. So what is that, 30, 35 feet?
300 feet in the air at that
just
point.
To get this little kitten down. He was just screaming.
And I was at work.
He was at work.
You just sent me the video. I was like, oh my God.
So I got him down. He was fine and everything, and then yeah, a year later he lost his leg.
Yeah, once we decided
that,
to chop off his leg, he didn't have to worry about it as much anymore.
He still climbs trees. He was climbing trees quick, actually.
It was a good idea, though. It was a good idea to cut it off, so he didn't have to worry about it as much.
We got such great care that day too. The doctors all saw it and they were like, "Oh shit!" And they're like, "Yeah, we're not gonna charge you for the emergency fee because this is an emergency."
Yeah, like his little leg was crushed. It was so sad. You could see the bone. Like
it was all dirty and stuff too. Oh,
it was so gross.
And then a matter of months after that, he got attacked by a coyote.
Yeah, when we were in Colorado, and we got a phone call like, "Hey, Valley's like acting all weird, like his midsection looks all bruised," and so they took him to the pet shelter or whatever.
Well, no, they were worried about him being dehydrated. So again, my sister was helping us watch the animals, and she knows a lot about animals from working in vets and stuff. And she was like, "Oh, he's being super weird, lethargic, like dehydrated, like not himself." And so we took him in, and then when the vet was looking at him, they were like, "He has a ton of like internal bleeding and bruising," and they like shaved his stomach down, and they were like, "It looks like something like bit him and shook him around."
I guess just didn't puncture the skin, but just grabbed him
and so they didn't have to do surgery or anything, luckily, but they sent him home in like a tube sock that he had to wear, like a compression sock.
It was really funny.
And then he did like laser therapy for a while, but he looked really funny, but he was okay.
He couldn't bend like his midsection, so he was just stiff as a log with like these little pencil legs. Like
yeah, there hasn't been any life-altering events from that point on with him, luckily, so that's good.
Not yet.
He's so young.
Brent,
he's only 2 years old.
Think of all the legs he could still lose. Sorry.
Nolan sent me a meme when he had a picture of Valley with the 3 legs and the tube sock, and he said the prophecy of the worm is being fulfilled.
Yeah, because we used to call him a worm.
Even before the leg.
We just said he was a worm because he was weird and like coked out all the time.
I was so mad, but it was also really funny.
He's one step closer. He's becoming the God Emperor.
Oh boy.
It'd be
Poor
really
little
cool.
guy. If he does lose another leg, we get him one of those cool wheelchairs.
Yeah.
Skirt.
The little if he loses a leg, like if an accident were to happen, rubs hands together, smirks.
Valley is my baby boy, okay?
Yeah, he's our baby boy. You know what though? If he was like the size of a cougar, I'll bet he'd eat us.
Yeah.
Do you think our cats would still like keep us around if they were like tiger sized?
I think Stuart would keep us around as toys.
You think he'd batter us?
It's a power trip for Stuart. Like he needs somebody below him. We're already below him in his mind.
Sure, yeah.
Or just here.
I think he's we're like sheep, and he kind of like herds us around.
Yeah, exactly. Douglas is already like 20 pounds.
He could kill us now.
He got so big. He's not even fat. Like I want to get him fatter because I bet he could be a hefty boy.
Yes.
Also, the neighbor is trying to steal him from me, but...
So we're gonna kill them?
No, she's a sweet lady.
Right.
She knows your grandparents.
But she has to go.
I mean, it's not... I don't know.
She's trying to steal my Grinch.
I'm gonna bring him back.
That's my Grinch.
We have Dougie nights where we kick all the other cats out, and we let Dougie sleep in the room by himself, so he is happy.
He can suckle that blanket all on his own. Not that he ever does. He doesn't need to suckle because he's a man. What? He knows no love.
We haven't talked about Beemo.
Oh, we have to talk about Beemo.
So finally, the 6th and most recent acquired cat is Beemo, and I got her from a friend of a friend who was like moving and needed to get rid of her animals. And I was like, sure. I was like, I'll take on a cat and like we'll find him another home. And I was talking to my sister about like fostering.
Foster cat.
And that was the only way I got Nolan to say yes, is if I was like, I'm gonna just foster it. It'll just be for a little bit. But then I fell in love with Beemo. She's a black cat with like a little bit of orange and yellow, like a tortoise shell kind of thing. And she's only like 2 or 3 years old. Yep. She's very chunky.
And she's tortoise shaped.
Mm-hmm. by far, out of all the cats, I think she has the most unique personality. She is a funny little fucker.
She's like, I don't know, like Daffy Duck, if Daffy Duck was a cat. And that sounds whimsical and fun, but you know when it's not whimsical and fun? Is when she comes up to you. Our bed is in a corner of the room. And when she comes up in the middle of the day and she starts like swiping your phone and knocking it into the crack and like, cramming it down there with her fist, you're like, Beemo! And then she like runs away because all she wants to do is like push things down behind our bed where I have to take out the whole bed to get to it, or bite on the corner of things like, I don't know, like wooden bed posts or like expensive books. Dude, she went up, what was it? It was like a 2x4. I was like a holy Bible or something. I don't know what it was. She came up, no, you know what it was? It was a plastic picture frame. And she came up to the plastic picture frame when we were rearranging our room, and I watched her go up to it and just go, like an apple, and like take a bite out of it, like a solid bite out of solid plastic. The picture frame still has it. It's right up there. She took a bite out of solid plastic.
Sometimes when you're petting her, she'll just bite you a little bit, but it's just like a little love bite, you know? I relate.
That's not a cat. That's a mealworm. I don't know what to make of her. She eats through like neurotoxins.
The litter box is in between the washer and the dryer. And I'll hear noises throughout the day of like the scraping on metal because she'll like, instead of moving the litter around, she just buries the washer.
Makes no sense.
Also, what she's been doing lately too, which is really funny, is she'll sit inside. I don't think she's ever left the yard. Our whole house is like fenced in. I don't think she's ever gone past the fence. Like she'll go and roll around in the front and roll around in the back, climb a tree or two, and then comes back inside. But so she'll sit on one side of the door, of like the glass door, and another cat, whoever it is, I've seen her do it to like Stuart, Missy, pretty much all of them. They're sitting on outside on the other side of the glass, and she'll like hit them, but she's just hitting the glass door, and they're always just sitting there like.
They're just watching her, like, and as soon as you open the door, she runs away because she knows she'll get her ass beat.
Yeah.
She's the one throwing stones from inside of a glass house. Brenda, I want to go back to something you said a minute ago, because the way you phrased like the acquiring of Beemo, did you always plan on keeping Beemo?
I did not. I really did not. It was because my friend, so I'm friends with Holly, and this was Holly's friend, so I didn't even really know this person. But she was like, you know, in a tight spot, and she was like, I have to get rid of this cat, and I was like, you know, like, I'll do what I can to help, like, I have the connection. And I put something on Facebook, and somebody almost took her, but then they like just ghosted us and never responded. So, and just enough time went by. I tried to pass her off to coworkers and friends, and they all said no. I tried to give her to Brian. Brian was like, can't do it, like,
Amber couldn't do it. Nobody could do it.
No, and so now it was just like it's just been so long, and like, things mellowed out because they were really bad for a while.
Yeah.
She was really miserable. She was pretty much just trapped in our room. All the other cats didn't like her. They were always fighting. They still fight a lot, but they've really mellowed out, I think. And they've kind of got to a good spot. Her and Missy are cute. They're like our little gargoyles. Because they look the same, except for Missy's older and Beemo's young and fat.
About 300 pounds.
But they literally will sleep on either side of our bed like little gargoyles.
She's some kind of a curse because, like, nobody else wants her, but everybody admires her. And, like, okay.
She's a funny cat. She's so unique. Like,
I love... What? What?
She has half of a Hitler mustache.
She has half of a Hitler mustache. Is that not proof of something? Okay, listen to me. I like Beemo. I really love Beemo. She's a family member or whatever. But also, I feel like I'm crazy sometimes because I'm the only one that's like annoyed by her a little bit when she like scratches at the door all night and then like meows, and like also like she'll come up to me like, oh, pet me, and I'll like pet her, and like I'm very delicate. I try to like make sure I pet her where she's directing me to, and then she'll turn and go, she smacks my hand and she looks at me like I'm a freak, and then like 2 minutes later she's like, pet me again, and I'll go to pet her again, and then she like smacks me harder, and it's like, what do you want, cat? I'll walk by and she'll like like punch my leg.
So does Stuart.
I feel insane. I feel like there's this movie franchise for you film buffs called Toy Story, all right? And in this movie, there's a character called Woody Allen, and Woody Allen gets confronted by Buzz Aldrin, who's like a new Space Ranger toy from Power Rangers or something. And Buzz Aldrin makes Woody jealous because Buzz Aldrin does everything right, and everybody likes him, but he's an asshole, and Woody just goes, like, insane. Maybe I'm misinterpreting the movie. Maybe Woody was the asshole, and that was the moral of the story. But also, like, I feel like Beemo is the closest thing I'll ever get to, like...
a mortal enemy.
Like a mortal enemy, or like a rival or something, like... If Beemo's gonna come up to me one of these nights and, like, sit on my chest like a sleep demon and be like... I am Hitler. I've put myself in a cat. And you dumb motherfucker, you're the only one that knows, but nobody will believe you. And then she'll probably slap me.
See, I just think it as, like, I view it as a dad and mom thing, right? Like, you got the dad thing where you're like, what the hell are you doing, son? You know? But, like, for me, it's like, I'm mom, you know, like, she could throw up on my mouth, and I would be like, not on my mouth, she could cut that part out, I didn't she could, like, it's like when a baby spits up on you, and it's like, oh, like, little baby spit, like, it's fine, like, I'm mom, it's okay, or, like, you know, like I said, little bluff bites. She just playing. She just scratching a little bit. She just wants to nibble.
And I'm the one wondering why she...
Cute little baby girl. She just wants to nibble a little bit. A little munchy munch, you know. She's fine. Little baby. I'm just mom.
You're very right.
She's so
That's
funny
why
and
I'm
quirky.
quiet.
Look at her, like, clawing on the little...
She is quirky.
I'm like, what's that noise? Oh, you're funny little cat.
She's like if Pinkie Pie had, like, pica and also, like, terminal aggression or something. Yeah, I love Beemo too. I love her.
And
we still got 8 minutes, alright. But I wanna know real quick. If our cats, let's go through our list of animals. If our animals were like, you know,
we do also have Luna, the dog. She's a good dog.
She's a cat too. So, like, timber wolves. You know what a timber wolf is? They were these, like, extinct wolves that were, like, massive, you know? They were, like, the size of, like, a bear or something. I'm probably exaggerating. If our cats were the size of a bear, which ones would kill us and which ones would not?
Again, I don't... So, okay, Little Bit, I think, is the only one who is, like, malicious.
Yeah.
And would kill us to kill us.
Little Bit would definitely kill us.
I don't think Missy would care. Missy's too chill. She just sleeps all day and is fine. If you pissed her off... she might kill you. Stuart, just big power play. He would just fuck around with us to be like, I am God, I can destroy you.
But and never, like, would? Or would no, eventually?
I don't think he would. I think that he would want us around to feed his ego.
He would be, like, the most malicious of them all, though. Yeah.
I mean, he slaps our ankles just to get fed. Yeah. So, like, I'm sure he would just, like, hit us so that
he'd like smack us around, like, a little bit.
Yeah.
He'd batter us, but he wouldn't kill us. It would just be
like a little bit. I think Beemo's on those same lines. I don't think Beemo's malicious, but I definitely think she'd hit us around a little bit, like, just for fun. Like, we'd be like toys to her.
She's, like, just kind of dumb. She just, like, thinks we're playthings and, like, smack us. Yeah. Be like, oh, why don't they walk anymore?
Douglas, I think, would just run away. He'd be like, I don't need these guys anymore. He'd be like, look at me.
Brenda, there's this franchise called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and in it, He-Man has a big green cat named Cringer. Okay, that's his real name. That's what Doug would be. So Doug would be Battle Cat, but without the Battle Cat. He'd just be Cringer all the time.
You'd just be scared.
And Cringer's green, like the Grinch. Okay, so I'm hearing 3 no, and 1 yes, and 1, like, maybe from Missy. We got Valley.
Alright, we got Valley.
What about Valley?
I think Valley does love us.
I think Valley would fight for us.
He would fight for us?
I think he would fight for us.
He would ward off enemies?
Yeah, I think so. He'd fight off a little bit. I think
he's a good boy.
He's a good boy.
I think he does love us.
If Luna was Timberwolf sized, I think we'd be very safe with her.
Yeah, you know, I think that's a debate that, like, a lot of people have and wonder, because, like, I know a lot of people and Luna's included in this or whatever, who have these dogs who are like super nice, super sweet, super well behaved, like great fucking dogs, and that love their family. But I always wonder, like, if push comes to shove, like, do they have it in them to like attack somebody to protect their family?
Oh, Luna.
Like if somebody broke into the house, like a big scary man with like a gun, like whatever, like would she do anything? Because like Brian will come over late at night when we get off work, because we don't get off until like 3 a.m. and Brian's a big guy, and like the lights are off, and Brian will come into the house and Luna will bark and growl at him until she realizes who it is. But she goes and hides. Like she'll be barking and growling while retreating. You know, so it's like, would she protect us, or would she just like do it for show? You know,
I don't think she would protect us.
You know, she'll be in the yard barking at people walking by, but as soon as someone walks over to her, she runs off.
I think she makes a lot of noise, but I know that I think that honestly, if somebody broke in, she'd like hide.
Yeah,
she'd hide behind us.
I don't know, man.
So that's,
she would at least alert us.
So would Doug.
We'd at least wake up to it. So I guess that's a good sign.
But also, Doug takes down like predators. He takes down, well, not predators.
I bet JR would have fucked someone up if they broke in.
Yeah, JR, he just was twitchy.
He was twitchy. He hated other dogs. And he was shy at people. But I bet if somebody came in and was like super threatening or whatever, like I bet he would.
Yeah. Oscar couldn't see.
Oscar would be asleep the whole time.
He would watch it happen and just like be constantly. He was little so dementia mind, his little dementia brain. He didn't know what was going on. He did sometimes. I shouldn't say that. He loved us, but also he was just like
the last couple years was rough.
It was rough. Yeah, he would just stare at stuff. Okay, here's one for you. What if Kevin was Timberwolf sized? Kevin was a leopard gecko. You've seen her in videos. She's like the star of my channel. I love her. She R.I.P. Kevin.
Was this pre-losing toes? Like, would she get all of her feet back?
Kevin, as we knew her, so with her toes gone, she was missing like 4 toes because the little kids that had her before were not nice to her.
So like no talons, right? She only have a couple talons.
No talons. She could bite though.
She can bite.
Imagine a leopard gecko bigger than like the dinosaur size.
But she like has the disadvantage of only being able to see like that way.
No, she can see in front of her.
Oh, I thought you were saying that they can't see in front of them, and like that's why they have a hard time. Like she had a hard time eating crickets sometimes.
I looked it up, and like apparently that's not very true.
I'm just saying there would be a cricket in her cage, and she had a hard time getting to him sometimes.
Sometimes. So. I think a thing with it, I don't know why they do it. I don't know what the reasoning is. If somebody knows why leopard geckos, if there's a cricket that like stops moving, they just forget about it. If somebody can tell me what that is, like please let me know. Because we have a new leopard gecko named Hugo, and Hugo is adorable. I love him.
Somebody would be trying to kill us, and they'd stop moving, and Kevin would just forget that there was a threat.
What the hell am I doing here? And she would wander away while we're getting murdered off on the side. Hey, whatever. I think Kevin would be a true neutral party. I think she would wander around, and like if we flailed our arms too much, she'd probably eat us.
Yeah, she'd think we were crickets.
I don't think lizards have the same type of brain that like a cat or a dog does, for sure. That being said, they can't. Well, I'm being mean because most lizards are actually very docile. You can train them to be very nice. Kevin was never at that capacity though, because she was like a traumatized old lady, kind of set in her ways. The best I could do was kind of pick her up and put her on the ground, and I'd just let her wander the room. And she had the time of her life doing that, because she'd find little crevices. I'd go to the bathroom and come back like walking all careful, like looking for her. She'd be like in the back of the closet, like looking at a wall, like just like having the time of her life. Yeah.
That'd be fun doing that with Hugo.
Yeah, I can't wait. You should try it with him.
You're gonna have Hugo forever. Kyle said that Hugo was only like a few weeks old, right?
Yeah, Hugo's very young, which means he can live, I think they can live up to 10 years if you take really good care of him.
Oh, dang. All you plant people, I finally, after months of trying to propagate my snake plant, finally have one growing.
Oh, I propagated my snake plant.
Snake plants take forever to propagate.
Do they really?
Yeah.
I mean, I know those have been in there for a while. I thought they were dead, but like they're like
no, they take forever to grow roots, and then even after the roots are growing, they still take even longer before they're able to like get this next little part.
I'm so proud of you.
So like this guy's getting close, but this guy, Once that piece gets a little bigger, then I can.
Oh, that is like a new thing, isn't it?
Yeah, then I can put him in a pot.
Yeah, Brenda, I'm so proud of you with how good you are at taking care of plants, because I'm not very good at taking care of plants.
It's a nice little hobby I have. I like it.
Brenda has like a really nice garden outside. We get like fresh tomatoes and stuff from it. She did a great job on it. Anyways, I don't think I have anything else to say.
Who's your favorite cat?
Vote in the comments below.
I'm asking you who your favorite cat is.
My favorite cat? I like Puss in Boots, dude.
I know you have a favorite.
Puss in Boots is the coolest cat.
Every parent always says they don't have a favorite,
what other
but I know you have a favorite.
An existential crisis. A brush with death. Actually, our cats all have. Okay, well, can I ask what your favorite is? Is this like a no shame thing? Like you're not gonna throw shame at me if I say who my favorite cat is?
No, I won't. And honestly, like I don't even know if I could pick a favorite because it's like each cat just does something different for my soul. But like all of them complete my soul together.
I like Doug. I really like Doug. No, okay, for real, listen.
Dougie was the only one you wanted.
All the cats fulfill a different role in my soul, as you said. Beemo's the weird one. I have a mild antagonism.
She's also the cuddle one. She sleeps with us every night. That's important.
Beemo is antagonistic, but not malicious, and she's very sweet, and I appreciate that about her. She's like my foil, okay? Little Bit,
First one to go.
He's first one to go. I'm learning to respect Little Bit because Little Bit had it rough as a kitten, and he clearly has some mental things he's working through. But I can respect Little Bit, okay? We're gonna put him at the bottom of the totem pole because he's mauled me like twice. All right, and he pees on everything. He's mean. Stuart is a homie. Stuart will hang out and chill out and do all kinds of stuff. He doesn't want to cuddle or anything. He doesn't want to be picked up, but he'll come and chill out, and he wants to be pet, and he wants to knock over water cups, even though he's got a fountain right there.
Not, yeah.
Just, he's a little jerk. He's like your rambunctious friend that just shows up uninvited. I love him for that reason. Doug is my little homeschool boy who's 6'10", and he doesn't speak, he doesn't interact with anyone, but he's got a little heart of gold. Occasionally he'll kill a small animal, maybe a neighborhood child, I don't know, that's alleged. I love him. He's a good cuddler. He's very sweet. He doesn't purr really. He's quiet most of the time.
Yeah.
He really is a little homeschool baby. I think that's why I like.
He's a scaredy cat though too.
I think that's why I like him.
He's me. Yeah. He's the biggest cat and he's the most scared.
He's homeschooled just like me. That's why I like him. Valley is just an innocent child. He's got a mean streak sometimes, but for the most part, he's just a baby. He's just a little baby. Missy, I really dig because she's just an old lady. She's like, don't touch me. I can handle it. I know what I'm doing.
She knows what she wants.
Yeah.
She lets you pet her 3 times, and then she's like, all right. That's enough. She comes to you, you do not come to her, and she has always been that way.
Yeah. She's a dog. She's like a dog's dog. She's very loyal. She's a bit of a scaredy cat. She barks at people. She goes to the bathroom outside.
Good family dog.
She's a good family dog. She's super sweet. Except when she gets excited and then she tramples like a little person.
Well,
but that happens. The little person. Max. All right, Brenda, this is it. House is burning down. You gotta pick one. What do you pick?
One cat?
Yeah.
Well, let's assume
they're all lined up. You can only pick one. You can only hold one because I'm in your other arm.
All the boys go outside, so I'm assuming they're already outside. I think that I would have to get either Beemo or Missy because they're the ones who would probably not have the self-preservation to leave the house on their own.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I don't know. I mean, Missy might be able to. It might have to be Beemo.
I would choose Hugo because he's in a tank.
Well, yeah, of course.
I like Hugo. I like him a lot.
I feel like all the other cats would be able to run on their own.
Hugo, me and him, I've only had him since my birthday. It's been a month, less than a month. The other day, I put my hand in the cage and he bit it, and then he thought for a second and stopped. And then he put his hand on my hand and looked up at me and squinted like Clint Eastwood or something, like he was gonna, I was next. But maybe it was love. I love it.
Maybe it was love.
Anyways, Brenda, we never introduced this thing. We should do a quick introduction. Do you want to do the hi, this is the chat episode, whatever?
Hi, this is the chat episode. I lost track a while ago.
15.
In this episode, we're going to spend 30 minutes talking about Brenda's cats.
Yeah. And I'm Nolan. Alright, let's record the outro really quick. Thank you for listening to the chat, episode 15.
See, I really think you should do hard cuts.
I probably will.
Just just end it literally just like, Doug is my favorite. Maybe it's love.
Well, who's your favorite, Brenda?
Who's my favorite?
Yeah, who's your favorite?
I told you, they all complete my soul.
No, but
I love them for different things.
Okay, but tell me really quick, like, which one's your
No, because you're gonna make it sound like I think Coolsville sucks.
I was actually just gonna cut you off, like, mid-thing.
Okay, my favorite cat is